Okay, so I'll wait for people to get back. Yeah, it literally takes 2 seconds to fix, so it's not that big of a deal. Spectrum, it's not Spectrum, it's Optimum. But, okay, I'll wait for Zuppy to say something so that I know he's back and listening. Zuppy, let me know when you're back. So I can explain why we're having a problem with that stage. Same shit, different ISP. True. That stupid waveland off shit is so frustrating.
Yeah, but the thing I'm saying that you gotta be sure to watch out for, because he hasn't started doing it yet.
Teeter cancel.
The teeter. The thing is, that he can teeter and then drop backwards off the platform.
Yeah.
Like teeter, drop, drift back. That is really nasty to deal with when he can mix it up with waveland off.
Yeah, yeah. I think the answer is just gonna be Ledge Dash take center stage. It's unfortunate. It's unfortunate that I have to execution test myself every single time, but I might just have to do it.
Right. Like I think. Yeah.
So Zuppy, you're never gonna
work.
You have not seen someone basically do this mix-up yet. But there is no, it's fine. I was waiting for you. There's a mix-up where Marth, if you're here and Marth is here, this waveland off, this is short hop right here, and then waveland off platform mix-up makes it almost impossible for you to have any decent risk reward getting in on him. And I know PPU did it to Aziz like once or twice, but PPU doesn't know how to play the mix-up game well. Zain does. And so when you play that mix-up game super well, the only option you really have that Zchep and I can see is running that will make it so that you don't lose half the interactions, at least, is going back to ledge dashing all the way back to center stage with invincibility and hoping that you don't fuck it up. If you can get it consistently, awesome. But think about it this way. You fuck up one ledge dash, and you're dead just because he's trying to waveline off a platform. And that's a bad situation to be in. But unfortunately, I think that might be what... I think the goal is just to be able to do it enough to make it so that he at least recognizes, like, okay, there's not much I can really do in this situation. Like, he's hitting his ledge dash just fine. You just kind of have to pass an initial execution test, and then he'll probably stop doing it. At least Zain will probably stop doing it. There's going to be some degenerate-ass Marth who's going to be doing when he's on the other side. Because what is Marth's sword? So think about it this way. Marth, wavelands off theirs. He is covered over to here effectively. You're now in the corner if you didn't hard read it at the right time. Hard read his drift, hard read his fastball timing, and hard read his aerial timing. If you didn't do all of those exactly right, you're now in the corner against Marth on Yoshi's. Look at his sword.
The truth is, though, I've decided that I'm never going to pick Sheik in this matchup.
I don't want to, under any circumstance.
What I'm going to do is I'm going to let you and Leffen eventually, slowly, over years, get frustrated enough that you go Sheik, and then you take out Zain, and then I capitalize on the rust in the Fox Ditto. 1 out of every 4 tournaments will be mine. That's the way, man.
God damn it, dude.
I'll outpatience you guys.
Can you CC the fair? No. If you CC, again, you have to run to the right spot, make sure you CC at the right time, make sure you're in percent, make sure he actually forward airs, not down air, not waveland back, not do anything else, not land and tomahawk grab you. And you have to do all of that, and then you might get a grab that if you don't do the perfect up throw up air, he smash GI fairs you and you die anyways. So no, you cannot CC it.
Yeah,
it's a mix-up.
All the different other mix-ups Marth can do from there.
Yeah, it's just not worth it. Why would you ever put yourself in that spot?
Yeah, like I think the Cody spacing, the nice thing is that the official Cody spacing TM of being underneath the opposite edge of the top platform and doing that little dash dance right there.
Right here.
That is completely safe. Yeah. 100%. Even from a full drift off platform fair.
And I just have to stay there. There's nothing else I can do.
Yeah, you have to stay there, and then, like, if he does a short hop, you just have to go there. And maybe maybe if he short hops, you jump short hop away from him, and then you just get a laser, like one laser, and then you're back in neutral.
Yeah.
Like, it's like kind of like a risk-free laser, but like.
It's gonna take a lot of focus to be able to do that.
It's like, well, you can't go up and you don't have space to go back. And if you go forward, you lose to him doing the dumbest option, which is just throwing anything out.
Yeah.
The only thing left is ledge there.
Yep. So that's a long explanation of why we're gonna have to start spamming legend on this stage. Because the thing is, this
6 months later, all right. So you run in and you shine invincibly through Marth's forward air. It's like, this is the only way.
Yeah.
Fox still wins the match.
Because the thing is, this stage, the punish game is too good. Like, our Fox's punish game is too good on this stage to give up. So
no. If Yoshi's becomes a bad stage in this matchup,
we're fucked.
It's over.
We're literally if we can't rely on this stage, we're completely fucked. So we have to put a lot of effort into figuring out how to make this. It doesn't have to be as bad as FD, but it has to be a counter pick.
Like 2 years later, we're counterpicking Marth to FD, and he counterpicks us to Yoshi.
Yeah. Sometimes it feels like we should be switching our counter picks even in our sets now. I think I figured out a really good style for FD. Obviously, the punish game is still stupid. There's nothing I can do about that.
Yeah, no, I've definitely been doing significantly better on FD lately. It's like, it has more of a chance, like, their chance of reversing you and getting a free win if you mess up is higher than on other stages on FD.
Yeah.
But if you don't mess up at all, FD doesn't really give him that much. I still think that FD is definitely the worst one.
Almost for sure, but it's not as bad as I thought it was. If you play it properly, I thought it was really bad. I'm
actually thinking that maybe he needs to level up on FD then, if that's the case.
I'm talking current meta right now. I'm not talking in theory.
Okay, yeah, fair enough.
I'm not concerned with theory right now. But yeah, so we're gonna have to figure that out. I'm also gonna experiment with Fountain more. Like I want to see what I can figure out about that stage.
Fountain's so dumb.
It's a big question mark for me still. I don't know how good it is.
The thing about Fountain is that Fountain is simultaneously our best and worst stage against Marth because you don't know which platform.
Yeah.
The matchup that's the thing about Melee is matchup numbers are literally random on FOD.
Yeah.
Sometimes I destroy Falco or Peach or Sheik there. Sometimes I can't do anything there.
Yeah. It's like, if there was no FD transformation, that stage would actually be, like, arguably the best stage for Fox in that matchup. But that fucking FD transformation murders my soul. You know, Zain says it's deeply disturbing? That's deeply disturbing. How should Fox shoot lasers against Marth? Barely. It's not amazing. You should only shoot lasers almost always when they're just completely risk-free. And that's not very frequently without giving up massive amounts of stage.
They're actually really good against bad Marths, but...
They're great against bad Marths.
But you also don't need them against bad Marths.
Yeah, if it's a bad Marth, you just shit on them.
So it's still irrelevant.
For FD transformation. Just practice Firefox and lunch stalling for FD transformation. Honestly, maybe, dude. I'm fucking done with that. I hate when you get grabbed and then the platform goes down. I want to murder the creator of the stage whenever that happens. I feel such intense hatred when this fucker grabs me. I'm like, oh, it's not that bad. And then the platform goes down. I'm like, why? Why? You already have one of these. You don't need two.
Yeah, no. FOD with just the top platform is really painful.
Yeah, no, it sucks. I hate it. Not against Sheik, but... but when it's against fucking Marth, I want to kill someone.
I just hate that all the matchups are random on that stage. I like the feeling of the stage other than that. Yeah.
I feel that.
But you better not be actually considering going Sheik.
I'm not. Don't worry, you'll know. There won't be a question in your mind when if that ever comes to that.
Like, I guess if you and Lef and Bull start beating on Zain with Sheik, then I'll pick her up again. I tried and she's so boring, so slow.
She's not slow. I move. My Sheik's kind of fast. I'm definitely not considering going Sheik right now. Like, I really, at the very least,
fast until you play her in tournament.
At the very least, I need to beat Zain with Fox in tournament at like a super major. At the bare minimum, I have to do that. Just for my own like psyche, my own pride, I have to. But even then, like, I'm not considering going to Sheik after I beat him with a Fox at a big event.
I still can't believe that stupid Phantom hated Genesis.
That was tragic.
I would be the last Fox who have beaten him if it wasn't for that. Still can't believe that stupid Phantom.
Yeah, I gotta. We'll figure some stuff out. You're gonna play some tonight? Maybe Smiz. I gotta see what my friend's doing. He might want me to play some games with him. But
Yeah, now you got me all deep in thought about Marth.
I know. I'm very lost. I'm very
now
deep
I
in
want a Marth to play against, but there aren't any Marths to play against.
That's the thing. You can't practice against the other Marths. It sucks.
It's just Zain.
If you go Marth, you can take shit from Zain. I'm not going Marth. I'm beating this fucking
Zain is
Fox.
not the new Hbox. I hate everyone.
Left him beat him at SNS last year after Genesis. 2019, yeah. He did.
Oh, so I guess I wouldn't have been... Well, I wouldn't have been the last
Fox.
Fox anyway.
Dude, fuck, man. Zain is willing to play versus people, not Hbox. Zain was kind of icing me on a lot of our sets today. It was pretty demoralizing. Yeah, I do have to remember the longer we play, the more susceptible I am to that, and I have to remember that like going into a set, I'm going to be fresh. Like I will be okay playing that for a short period of time.
Yeah, no, I agree that. Yeah, you usually look a lot better when in the matchup when you're fresh.
I think it does drain me.
Dude, it's a really hard matchup, and I think that I think it's like your mix-ups per second rate goes up the longer the session goes, because your brain starts going faster, and you're like a lot less likely to like wait 3 or 4 full seconds.
Yeah.
Like when I watch like the first matches in the set, it's normally like, wait. Suddenly Cody hit him combo, and then later in the set, it's like you either go in or you wait a little bit and then go in, kind of like you would against Sheik.
Yeah. That's very accurate, actually. That's very accurate.
But I don't think we can do that against. It's like Falcon, dude. The more you try to play the game, the stronger the character becomes.
God, I hate that so much.
Yeah, I know. No, this game is definitely low-key doomed, but that's okay.
It's so frustrating, dude. Like, I just want to play mix-up. Like, I just want to interact and play mix-ups and have a conversation, and everyone's just like, yeah, give me a second. I'm on the phone. Forward it over and plays. Oh, you tried to talk to me? Fucking some stupid shit. Fines me for it. Okay, awesome, dude. Thanks. That's honestly what it feels like playing half the people. I've been mad about
for years. I've been mad about that for so long.
And then people are like, oh, but you're the full hop. You're full hopping. You're just camping. I'm like, I am the least campy player, dude. I don't want to camp you. I don't want to camp any of you.
Yeah, Cody's never camped.
I can't camp. I get bored. It's like the same way Blup feels.
See, the other thing, though, is that when people know that you're the type of player who gets bored, they have a bigger incentive to camp.
I know. I hate it so much. I literally just have to be willing to, like I can do it in bracket now, especially on my meds, but it's just really hard to do
The thing I hate is when you're like, okay, I'm willing to play I feel this against Keizu, where he's like, okay, I'm gonna play the campiest I possibly can, and you're like, all right, Keizu, like, you're not gonna get me, like, I'm gonna play just as campy as you, and he's like, great, like, let's play 8-minute matches every time, and you're like, no, like, you're supposed to see that I master your patience, and then be like, okay, fine, the patience isn't gonna work, but no, they actually want to like drag it out like that.
It's like, dude, it's like you lose this. When this happens, you lose. Like, I'm playing Fox because if we get into the stalemate, I win. Especially against Peach. Why are you willingly going to time against me?
I think sometimes it's so crazy. Peaches will literally let you get 40 or 50 damage off of lasers in the stock.
It's like, dude, like, I'm literally telling you, like, let's fight. And I'm running at you with the lasers. I'm even approaching you with some of these lasers. I'm literally saying, let's fight. Let's
Have you ever played Azusa?
Not in a very long time. Now this is like 2016.
He's the only Peach campier than Keizu where there was a friendly session I played with him where I would I took the majority of stocks by lasering the entire stock up to 80 and then landing a raw up smash. And like he would let me.
Oh my god.
And he never changed up what he was doing. And it's like it's hard for us to accept that. And I think people know that like that's definitely what the Falcos do. Like, the Falcos are like, we're fighting. Oh, yeah, we're fighting back and forth. We're fighting man to man, mano a mano. You know, and you're like, yeah, let's do it. And he's like, now I'm on the platform waiting for 5 minutes. Do you still want to fight? And you're like, yeah. You were just like you said, man. Just like you said, man to man, fist to fist. And then he's like, yeah, you know about that. Like, why don't you try hitting me? You know, and then you're like, okay, fine. You're freaking standing on the platform. You're never gonna come down. I get it. I'll camp too. And he's like, yo, man, are you camping me?
Yeah.
I thought we were gonna fight. What are you doing all the way over there? I thought we were trying to fight. And you're like, oh, now you want to fight. All right, let's fight. And you jump down, and Falco's like, actually, I'm going to be over here again.
Back to side flat.
Like, it's so infuriating. Like, dude, like, make up your mind. Like...
And then they're like, okay, yeah, I'll fight on the ground. Auto-cancel backer. It's like, dude...
I auto-cancel back air, double jumped away. That's basically an approach. And
yeah,
like,
yeah.
No.
I auto-cancel back air at you. That works, right? It's like, are you...
I just hate that they're like, let's fight. You're like, yeah. And they're like...
And you're like, you
wait, by fight? I didn't mean like this was going to go both ways. I meant I fight. You defend.
Yeah.
You're like, no.
And then and then you try to full hop because it's like the easiest way to beat their stupid camping. It's like, you're just full hopping me, dude. It's like, you're just camping!
Yeah, they're just full hopping. Just fight me. And then you're like, fine, I'll fight you. And they're like...
Platform! Shield up shot.
Counterpoint. My full hop. Yeah. Like, come on, man.
Give me a break. It's cool if I camp you and you're pissed, but if you're trying to fight me, but you never try to fight me.
They only want to fight... when you're, it's like those videos of like the dogs where like they're barking and they're snarling and they just want to fight no matter what, and then like the gate opens and then like they could totally fight and they're just like, oh, what, me? No, I wasn't. You know what I mean? Like, that's Falco main. They're like, yeah, fight me, and then you get close to them and they're like, I'll be over there.
I didn't say that.
Every time.
I didn't want to fight.
That's the exact feeling.
No, it's. Oh my god. I feel so stupid for putting myself in, like, danger of, like, losing mix-ups so frequently to, like, fight people, and it's like, why do I care? Like, you're not gonna fight me back. Why would I ever...
The other thing that's frustrating is that there's always this impulse of, like, they keep giving you the same stupid situation over and over, where they're like, approach me, and then they stop, approach me, and they do it again, approach me, and you're like, okay, I could just not approach forever, but that doesn't actually give me an advantage. Like, there must be a way, if they're doing something predictable, to create an advantage. But then, like, through experimenting, you give so much to people that, like, it starts to eat at you. Even in a friendly set, if some Falco's camping you, you could just camp back and have no interaction, but it's like, you're not going to learn anything by doing that. So you're like, okay, I'll learn by approaching. And they're like, yeah, I messed that guy up. And it's like, dude, you literally shield drop shined every stock of every single interaction. Like,
and then what happens when you play the style that beats him every single time? You get me versus West at Octagon. That's what happens. He
didn't even camp you in that, but you definitely bobbed him anyway.
I mean, I knew he was just going to do the same things over and over again. I wasn't going to experiment. I was just like, okay, I'll do the same things. Not going to change.
No, that's what happens. That's what happens in tournament. But I don't want things to be that way.
I don't either. That's literally like why I came to this thing with you, where I was like, yo, like, how the fuck do I beat this? And then when the answer is, yeah, you go to ledge, I'm like, oh, come on.
Yeah, no, that doesn't.
Why? Why is that? And that was my instinct, too. Like, when we were playing, I was like, dude, I feel like I just have to go to ledge at this shit. This is so dumb. And he was like, yeah, it's probably really good. And then I was like, no, I'm going to fight. Gets fucked up again. I'm like, oh, I just want... Man. I don't like this game anymore.
Yeah, no, I get it. Because, like, it's like, as Fox, you're the rushdown character, so you want to be the one to control the pace. That's like the whole reason we choose Fox. But then people take the pace from us, and then they're like, "Why aren't you coming in?" You know?
Yeah.
And I don't know. It's like a frustrating thing in general to deal with. Of like, the true Fox main is just like degenerate and campy and annoying, and like,
Yeah.
I don't really like that very much. And I also think that it's like not really that super worth it. I don't know. It's kind of a tricky question of like,
Because it feels so good when you actually get in, and it's like you can get in on them, but it's just so frustrating to get. Some people make it so frustrating to get to that point, and it's like I'm okay losing interactions, losing scrambles, losing neutral, if it's like actual neutral. But I just hate when they're just literally forcing these stupid stalemates and like saying like, "Yo, come in, come in, come at me." It's like, can't we just do, like, I'd almost rather just play a neutral situation that I might lose, but at least it's interactive, and I'd rather do that. I'd be more okay with that.
it's kind of like if you're trying like, it's basically CS but with no nades. Like that's basically the game we're playing.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah, kind of, actually. It's like,
yeah,
oh yeah,
like
I'm gonna go rush.
that's actually the exact feeling.
Yeah, no, I was literally thinking about that. I'm like, oh yeah, I don't know how to use nades in CS. Whenever I'm on terrorist side, that is exactly how I feel, actually. Because you know,
it's just like, all right, well, if I poke, I get shot. And you're like, all right, well, what tools do we have to like get rid of this stalemate where we're both behind the corner? And they're like, no, there aren't any tools. You just kind of wait, and eventually they'll be like, what's going on over there? Bam!
Yeah.
Then you're the smarter one because you waited longer. It's like, no, that's not the smarter one. Like, I don't want that to be like the better decision. Is just wait for the guy to get curious and happen to look around the corner. Like, that's how it feels. You're kind of just waiting for the other player to get curious and be like, what if I did something else? You're like, finally, let's play, and then you beat him up, and it's like, that doesn't feel. It doesn't feel good to wait for that.
It's literally as non-enjoyable as it can get, and it's just, you know, I don't even feel good when I win games like that at all. It's like, I just feel like I'm like, cool, that, like, I won the game, but I've won sets against, like, people better than me, like, upsets, like, when I was coming up, and I'm a huge popular offer. But there were sets like that, and I'm just like, I just don't even feel good about this. Like, I didn't beat you, I just played like a bitch because you played like a bigger bitch.
It's, like, this issue has existed for a long time, like, the stalemate problem, but it's mostly just been involving, like, Hbox. Like, Hbox Armada. Armada is the one camping, you know?
Yeah.
Like, that whole thing, that's the same situation where it's like, if you're gonna play against, like, Armada was like, all right, I'm gonna play the way that you're forcing everyone to play, and he'll win almost every set, but
he'll quit the game in a year.
Takes all of the enjoyment out of the game because you know you're gonna fly out to a tournament and practice a bunch so that you can anti-camp Hbox, and that's not enjoyable for anyone.
Yeah, no, that's literally exactly what happened. I hate when Hbox, like, I don't like hate Hbox at all, but I hated when he was like, oh yeah, Armada just has so much discipline, he just camped the shit out of me. I'm like, dude, that's because, like, the way you played against him, he had to camp. Like, what was he gonna do, run into you like Mango did and lose every set for 2.5 years?
Yeah, literally, that's the... But that's like the same mentality where, like, it's like I was talking to Hbox, like, this is one of the things that really annoyed me at Summit, and he got this thing in his head that, like, this is the exact same concept as in Melee, basically, where he was saying that the best way to play rock, paper, scissors is to not choose your own things and just get a random number generator and just not think about it, because then they can't read you. And I was like, right, but, like, if you both decide that you want to try to read the other guy, then you can, like, read the person's patterns and get a higher win rate. Like, if you just stalemate and they stalemate, you have a 50% win rate forever. But if you, like, I'm not going to stalemate, I'm going to hard read you, and they're like, I'll hard read you back, then you can get, like, a 99 or, like, a 90-10 win rate. And I was like, that is, like, a much more interesting situation. And he just kept being like, no, you're stupid. Like, you think about it, man, the stalemate's so good. Like, you just don't understand what optimal is. And it was like, that's the same mentality he takes for Melee. And he thinks that that's, like, legit, like, a useful mindset because he gets away with it because this game allows stalemates. Like, it's not like that's the way things work all the time.
Yeah.
You know?
And then you run into Armada who says, okay, I'll do it back, and then you lose.
Right, yeah, I'll do it back, but with more skill, and then he loses. And it's kind of like,
No, I think that's
It's
a
just-
horrific mindset. Like, not so to me that, like, I'm not gonna extrapolate anything else from this other than that mindset tells me that you don't actually want to beat the other person.
Yeah, it's just the idea that like, well, if they can't interact with you, you can't possibly lose, and eventually they might try to do something interesting, and then they'll lose.
Yeah.
To lose to you, and it's like, it's like a rejection of being human.
Yeah, kind of.
Like it's like a rejection of literally living life. Not talking about Hbox, but that mentality in general is like it's a rejection of life itself.
Yeah, it's like you're what at that point. What are you trying to accomplish?
Like, what are you doing in life?
Yeah,
if you're just wanting to stalemate.
Yeah, that's literally one of the worst mindsets I think I've ever heard. It's like
just play tic-tac-toe and get an even game every time. It's like
play a solved game, play checkers.
Eventually they'll go for something crazy and then you'll win because it's not part of like the flowchart.
Yeah.
It's like I would rather lose than fall into that.
And I kind of noticed that last time when I played him at this past tournament, where it's like the 2 sets I won, it was literally like, okay, he's on the platform. I thought that maybe this scenario would be really tricky because like the last 3 interactions we had on this platform, this is what I did, and now this scenario would be a great answer to that. And then I was like, what if I just short up aired him again? And then sure enough, he just grabbed, and I was like, okay, cool. I guess we're not going to play neutral.
Oh yeah, when he's on the platform trying to grab out of the full lob. Yeah.
It was just like, I want interaction. I want to change. I want to do more stuff. And then I kept thinking like, okay, he's not going to re-roll in last stock this time. And then I thought in the back of my head, I'm like, yes, he will. And every time I was like, he read it. He didn't get it right because I told myself never tech in on last stock, but I was right. He read it again. And I won like almost every last stock game because I just didn't tech in last stock. I was like, okay. I know I'm telling myself tech in place on last stock. I'm not telling myself not to roll in. I'm just telling myself this is the option you do. And every time I won, I was like, ridiculous. I can't understand not wanting to outplay someone as a competitor.
Yeah, me neither. That's
like,
just how it is.
There's so many matchups I could play a way that would just completely invalidate the other character, but it's like I wouldn't be outplaying them and it wouldn't be fun to me. The only people
I do that versus Luigi.
I was gonna say the only character I do that versus are mid tiers, and especially Luigi because I want to hate them because of their fucking character. But 2, it's because it's like, all right, I mean, if you're a competitor and you're just playing a mid tier, then to me it's like you're clearly not trying to be the best player in the world, so I'm not gonna take it seriously.
Right, like they just deserve to be invalidated.
Yeah, which is like that's the way you're gonna play the game. That's completely fine. But I'm going to show you why I don't like that. Did your style in fiction style? Honestly, fiction and I... So...
Night and day, dude.
We're night and day, but it's funny because at the same time, I think we're arguably 2 of the most interactive foxes and nobody really realizes it.
Everybody thinks I play lame.
You gimp, but you do not like to not interact. Like when we play, our sets are extremely interactive.
I'm interacting a lot.
Yeah.
It just doesn't always look like
Yeah.
it.
There's like almost no actual mental downtime in our games, almost ever.
Oh no, definitely not. Just in general, the way I try to play is like I try not to create mental downtime. Like my goal is like I'm basically trying to play Tetris. Like I want my opponent's brain to feel like Tetris, where I'm giving them all these little puzzles and they're trying to stack them as much as they can, and then it starts getting overwhelming and it starts stacking up really high, and like that's like my favorite feeling is when I feel like they're getting overwhelmed with like
yeah. No, that's I have the same thing, but for me it's like applying like the physical pressure.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like the same type of feeling. I would assume like based off how you're describing it, it's the same type of feeling that I have when I like start overwhelming someone with options. Is the way you're feeling with like the mental Tetris.
Mm-hmm. No, it definitely is. Yeah.
Like your most interactive fox. I'm probably the fox who's least willing to like have downtime, like actual just downtime. I just not willing to have it at all.
Yeah, most impatient fox.
Yeah.
Most patient fox. We all know who.
Well, it was Absent Page.
Zach, dude.
No, it's Hacks. It's definitely Hacks.
I love my characterization of Hacks versus Hbox. Hbox is 30 feet away, sweating bullets, while Hacks plays Type Racer as fast as he can in center stage. He's just Hbox is like wringing at his hair, wringing at his beard like a towel. And Aziz is just pressing as many buttons as possible. And it's like, this is a battle between two titans. Neither one has seen each other, but they're fighting all right.
They haven't interacted in about 30 seconds. They've dealt about 20 damage to each other by virtue of lasers and power shielding lasers and absolutely nothing else. But they're playing all right.
It's yeah, that Simpsons clip where it's like, I'm gonna do this over here. I'm gonna start swinging my arm. It's like, you get hit, it's your fault. And they both just do that forever.
It's so bad. I was watching that summit, I'm like, this is a dumpster fire. I cannot watch this. This is so bad.
I actually really enjoy it.
I enjoyed it in a sense of like, I cannot believe this exists at top level.
It's just hacks doing the Fox equivalent of what Jigs does to Fox.
Yeah. Plup and Moki are both hella engaging too. They're both very interactive. Plup is just turn brain off, gulper.
Yeah, I wouldn't even call Plup interactive, but he is fighting you.
He's definitely fighting you, but it's just mindless mix-ups at you over and over again at like the fastest speed in the world. Moki's interactive. It's like similar to your style if you thought even less. Yeah, basically. He's more mindless me. And that's not like a bad thing, but it's definitely just like more...
I just remember when you told me in doubles the first time, you're like, Plup is just gonna run around really, really fast. Yeah. And I was like, okay, I'm ready. And then afterward, I was like, you were right, but also he was naring so fast that I couldn't even do anything. Like...
I was like, I'm telling you,
too fast.
It's gonna be the fastest nares you've ever seen, and that's all it's gonna be. And you're like, okay, I got it. Steps towards it, like, what is this? He's just naring at the speed of light. How do I deal with this?
It's like, how do I play someone who literally doesn't even acknowledge that I'm on the screen with them?
And he's really good at it too. He's just like,
yeah, no, Plup is sick. I wish he still played.
Yeah, I love Plup's style. He's one of the most fun players for me. I love watching him.
It was really frustrating for me because, like, I really excited to be able to, like, beat the people who had gotten really good. It's kind of like, it's like, I don't know, like, when I came back, I was really excited that I would get to play Plup and like, Plup was really good now, and then Armada was still playing, and I was really excited that, like, there'd be all these, like, good players, but now it's like, I don't know, it's not quite as active at the top right now. So you're just kind of like, well, fine, if you guys are gonna open it up for me, like, I'll take it.
Yeah.
And then you pretty much, it's just like...
And now it's just beat Zain and Hbox.
It's just Zain and Mango,
Mango,
pretty much. And Hbox, yeah, but... What I'm saying is the top players that, like, I really want to beat. Like, you have, like, a passion to beat Hbox, and, like...
Yes, I do.
If that guy quit the game completely forever, I would feel literally the smallest amount of sadness that can possibly be felt. Like, sure, I want to beat the guy, but, like, if I never had to play him again, that wouldn't bother me one bit.
Someone asked, who are the fastest players in your opinion?
It's irrelevant.
There you go. There you have it. There you have it.
Like, what does that even mean? Like, it used to mean things more, I feel like. It used to mean more because people were slower.
Everyone's fast now. Oh, Ariel's the fastest Plup.
Yeah, Plup.
It's not even a fucking question.
Plup Ariel's so fast. Not even okay.
And in doubles, it's terrifying.
Oh, here, you can probably stop streaming on Discord now.
Oh, yeah. In doubles, it's actually, like, terrifying to play against that style. Like, it took me, like, 3 or 4 sets, even faster than Hacks.
With Mewtwo King there, too.
Well, the thing about Hacks is all of his aerials are just him sitting in a fucking corner on an imaginary wall, just doing it in the same place over and over again. So it's like, I don't even recognize how fast his aerials are, because all I'm doing... Like, hold on, let me bring up Dolphin. Do you know what I do when I play Hacks, and I've won 13 of our last 15 sets? Like, barely thinking? Do you guys want to see what I do against Hacks? It's not the...
I guess I said who has the most unethical playstyle? That's such a funny question. I mean, Wobblers, I guess? Like...
Oh, shit, I have 2 Dolphins open.
Jigglypuff?
Alex, thank you for the sub. I don't know why I have that open. Hold on. When I'm hanging out next, I'm actually going to be in Suffolk, or in Hewlett, or Woodmere? 20, the Monday after next weekend. Okay. Guys, this is how you beat Hacks, okay? And he's gonna say that you're just trying to cheese him, and all you have to say back to him is, no, you're literally not interacting with me, and you're not reading any movement of mine. So, Hacks is gonna be down here, okay, right? So, imagine I'm the Blue Fox. He's gonna be this. He's gonna be doing this. Aerial, back air. Shine aerial. Oh, you come back to me. Go back to ledge dash. And I'm gonna be doing this. Okay. Aerial, got it. Okay, aerial. Okay, oh, you did a bad one. And then I win. That's how our sets go. And the reason is because if I'm here, he's never going to go to a platform. He's never going to call me out. He's never going to up air at the top platform. He's never going to do anything like that. And if I go in, all he's going to do is, oh, you're trying to fight me? Okay. I can't do it as fast as him, of course, because fucking type racing motherfucker. But he's just gonna be doing this, and I'm like, okay, cool, yeah, this is fun. I'm down to play this. And then it's like, okay, you're gonna do this 8 million times, cool. I do that and win. That's literally what happens. That's all. That's why I tell everyone I think he's the most uninteractive player, because I do those 3 things over and over again, and he never changes, he never calls it out, and he never even lets me approach on the ground, because if I try to approach on the ground, he just aerials me out over and over again, and I'm just like, okay, cool, sure, this is so fun. I'm having a great time playing. Do you agree with Hacks of the game? Hell no! Not a damn chance I agree with this. There are things that I take from his play that I think are really good. Do I agree with his view on the game? No. No. Not at all. There are things he does that are good. I'll give him that. There are matchups that he is very good at. I will give him that. Why not? Hacks is willing to go.
It's unrealistic to play the game from the perspective that you're a task bot.
Yeah. Like, I was literally, my example's about to be, he's going to go for a 15 or 14 frame ledge dash every single time, no matter what the situation, no matter what. He's never going to laser land or do anything else from ledge. And he's going to go for a frame perfect firestall every single time. In tournament. On last stock. I don't need to say anything else.
He's going to go for frame perfect what?
Like firestalls. And frame 14 ledge dash. It's like, okay. What is good matchups? He's really good versus Falcon, obviously. Good versus most Sheiks. I unironically think he's going to have problems with Spark in a little bit, which I find really funny. Because Spark is just going to see the same 3 options and be like, okay, grab. I actually do think he's going to have problems with Spark at some point, when Spark gets a little bit better. But I think overall he's very good versus Sheik, good versus Falcon, good versus... And then all the other matchups is completely dependent on how good is he on that day.
Yeah, like, his playstyle is too inconsistent.
Yeah, it's wildly inconsistent, which is the main reason I don't agree with it. Like, if you're talking theory, yeah, I mean, I don't know shit about the stuff that he researches. I'm sure that I would defer to him on almost all of that. But if you're talking about tournament, no, I don't agree with how he plays a tournament one bit. Said he always fucked his stall up on last stock. Yeah. I literally won a set by calling that out. Because I'm like, okay, I know he's going to go for this on last stock, and I know he's going to fuck up because he's not a task bot, he's a human, and then I just dash stack his bad firestall and I won. I was like, okay, cool. And it's like, yeah, oh, why didn't you just try to outplay me, bro? And I'm like, why don't you try to play a style that I can actually, like, interact with you with instead of a task bot that isn't actually going to work because you're not a robot?
Yeah, the issue I've always had is that, like, because he's so precise, all of his stuff has, like, it all has the same window every time.
Yeah.
Like, if he does a certain shield pressure, you can rest assured that, like, that exact same shield pressure with those exact same windows is coming next time.
Mm-hmm. And he never changes.
And that's not really the root of, like, a fighting. And I think it's more trying to abuse the way that Melee is, where it's sort of more technical than other fighting games and easier to mess up.
Yeah.
And he's sort of like if he was trying to play Street Fighter 5 like that, like that game's not that, like, not technical in the same way as Melee, like, it wouldn't work at all. Like, he can only do it because of how ridiculously fast Fox is and just Melee in general. And so, and it makes sense that he's like, wow, like, I can totally win with just this because Fox is so broken. But then, like, it does. It's still in the end. It's still a fighting game where you have to do neutral game mix-ups.
And honestly, it's kind of boring playing against him for that reason, because it's like, okay, I could experiment with all this stuff, and I will experiment with all this stuff, but then he's going to take a bunch of games and talk about, yo, I was fucking Cody up earlier. And this has happened before. He's like, yo, I was fucking you up in the middle of the session. I'm like, why? Because I actually tried approaching on the ground and trying to change something up when you were doing the same thing for 3 hours, and then the only times where I didn't approach on the ground, you didn't take a game and you got 3 or 4 stock. Like, were you even paying attention to the games? Clearly not. It's like almost like that bad mid or low level player thing where it's like, oh, yo, I took him to last stock, like it was so good. It's like, dude, he SD'd 3 times. Were you watching the screen? Like, I went for 2 disrespectful kills on a Luigi Ghost Hard, whatever the fuck his name is, and then it was last stock because of it. It was like 2 like obvious attempts to just like styling him off stage, and he's like, yeah, man, I was beaten. I took him last stock, and I was like, what? Like, what do you like? Do you believe this, Alex? I'll let you know. But that's like most people who don't adapt very much and have like a very stuck view of the game. It's like super result oriented, and it feels like he specifically actually just trying to play a 1-player game.
I feel like he might even admit to that. I'm not sure, but
no, I've tried calling him out on that, and he vehemently protested it both times. He was like, "No, bro, you're just trying to cheese me over and over again." I'm just like, "Oh my god, dude."
Yeah, I certainly hate when you legitimately win a set with careful tactics, and then somebody says you cheese them.
Yeah, it sucks, right?
Cody.
I mean, I only ever get cheesed.
Yeah, I definitely can't ever say, like, there's definitely no argument cheesed me or anybody. It's like kind of cheese when you get lazy and you approach way too much. But that's the closest it is.
Yeah, I don't think there's almost anything about my style that you can objectively call, like, super cheese, because it's all, like, trying to just play a bunch of mix-ups with you. PSV, I think I know what I'm going to do next. I did unfortunately devolve to, I'm going to go to ledge every single time on Yoshi's and play differently in other stages. Which is kind of what I expected, but I'm upset that that was the result. What is Spark's playstyle?
Really sure.
What is Spark's playstyle?
What is Spark's playstyle? Spark's playstyle is like you give him a math problem and he gives you the right answer, and then you're like, all right, now you make a math problem for me, and he's like, I would rather just keep solving the problem for you. And you're like, right, but like there's got to be some sort of back and forth here, and he's like, nah, like why would I ever make problems for you to solve? Like I enjoy solving the problems you give, and it's like, dude, it's not fun for the other person, and also then I just try to come up with tricky problems forever, and I never have to actually solve any problems that I'm given.
That's unfortunately very accurate. Did you said you went back and listened to the audio when Duck was talking to him, right?
I only heard like one little bit. You could go over it and just tell me what he said. I just heard him say that like he wasn't interacting all that much or something.
Basically, at one point, Duck said, "It's like, yeah, dude, you're not interacting with me like at all." And Zane's like, "Wait, what do you mean?" And he's like, "It's like you're just staying there. It's like I'm trying to like do moves and like trying to fight you, and you're literally just on the platform. Like, okay, I'll just stay here and then do nothing about it." And or like say on the ground, it's just I'm gonna stay over here and I'm not gonna move one bit. And Duck was like, "It's like I don't feel like you never tried to hit me in any capacity." And I was like, "Yes." Thank you. We never feel threatened by him, right, Duck? And he basically was like, yeah, like, you don't try to hit me at all. And Zain was like, oh. And I was just like, oh my god. But yeah, so at some point, Duck basically said, like, yeah, you don't threaten or, like, try to attack me in any capacity. And it was just like, yes, thank you so much.
And then it's like, and then you're like, and you always just misinterpret what Chef is saying as bullying you, and he's like, I don't
yeah.
feels like bullying, and I'm like, dude, not bullying. I want you to be better.
It's literally, it's like Chef wouldn't waste his time with you if he didn't want you to get better.
Yeah, if I think somebody's not gonna improve, I don't really say anything about it.
Yeah, and I kept telling them, like,
but then whenever we explain, like, no, Zayn, actually, you're really good at these certain things, and you just don't do other things. Then he's like, no, that still sounds like you're messing with me. So it's just, every time I say I've given up, but I can't. He's too smart. Like,
I know, right? That's what I keep
has to
thinking.
get through to him eventually, right?
Because he is really smart, and he's
He's
really
so
good.
smart.
It's like he's obviously really good, and it's like there are glimpses. The frustrating part is there's glimpses of it. There's like, there's always a glimpse of it, and then it's just like, just more
like
that more.
He'll do like one good approach, and you're like, there, right there, that was it. But I think it must just be probability that every so often happens.
Yeah.
It's definitely he definitely doesn't realize that he did it or think about that he did it.
Yeah, but it's like you see it and you're just like, God damn it, dude. Because he has so much potential. Like, I hate it. I hate how much potential he has, and then he just thinks we're bullying him. It's like, no, dude, like, you're so fucking good. Like,
like we just want you to be the top. I just tell him, you gotta be the top 10 spark that you were born to be.
yeah, because he should be top 10. Like, he's literally better than almost all the other top 10 players.
He should already be there, yeah. Like, he should already be at least, like, consistently top 15 level.
Yeah. And it's so frustrating when he's like, you guys are just shitting on me. And that's not the case. It's like, no! You're missing it! It's like, dude, we are the top 10 players. We're already there.
And he's like, you're making it up. Like, if you weren't making it, give me a math problem that I would solve involving it.
Yeah, it's like, no, that's
like,
the
no,
point.
What I want you to do is make math problems for other people.
Yeah, it's literally, it's like, no. The point is you can't just say, okay, this situation, what do I do? That's exactly what we're trying to tell you not to do. He'll get through it one day. Because, like, every top player who watched him says the same thing. Every single one. Have you seen the stats about... I have not. But thank you for the Prime. I know that it's up, but I have not watched it yet. Thank you so much for the Prime. I really appreciate it.
Someday he'll realize that I know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Poor soul.
You're one of, like, 5 people whose melee analysis I almost indiscriminately, like, at least give credence to, even if I don't outright believe it.
Yeah, no, I appreciate that. I definitely feel like we can, like, learn a lot from each other when we talk about stuff, because there's definitely a lot of situations where I'll, like, think I know what's going on because of, like, certain logic, but then I'll see you do something else that doesn't even follow that logic and it works better, and then I have to figure out, like, new logic for it.
Yeah.
So even if I have, like, things that sound like they make total sense, sometimes, like, it's still not the right option.
I mean, yeah, that's why I really like that's why I really like group analysis. Like, once you get to the point where you've done enough analysis yourself and you've come through with, like, a lot of solutions and shit, I love just, like, sitting down with, like, 2 or 3 other really good foxes, especially ones that play the game in a different manner, and just having them all, like, go at it together. It's like, okay, let's, like, build, like, let's see how I can alter my model in a way that I would never even thought of otherwise. I'm gonna miss Kalindi for that. Like, Kalindi had a perspective that none of us had, that's for damn sure. But it's like, Alex, you didn't have to. Hey, Chef, you got gifted a sub. Thank you, Alex.
Sick. I already had a sub.
No, you didn't. You wouldn't have been able to get gifted a sub. I must have ran out.
But it said, no. Well, huh? It said resubscribe, so I guess I wasn't them.
You did. This is my best friend since 5th grade who gave you the sub.
Oh, sick.
Long before Melee.
Cody's best friend, his nameless best friend.
His name's Alex. Him and this other kid Jake been my best friend since I was like 10.
Sick.
They come to chat a lot.
All your gamer buddies.
No, these are fucking elementary school buddies. This is long before
Elementary
games.
school buddies.
Yeah.
He didn't game with?
Alex, did we play games in 5th grade? I feel like we just hung out in my backyard and, like, fucking played, like, basketball or some shit, right?
Oh, that's sick.
I don't think we played video games, like, 5th grade.
Do you remember when people were kids and then you'd just be like, let's hang out, and then they're like, what are we gonna do? And you have literally, and you're like, let's just go out in the yard, and you have to come up with something.
Yeah, yeah.
It was good times.
Yeah, no, they were dope times. We would just stick around in my backyard all the time. I had, like, a ludicrous dog that made a rut in the backyard because of how much he ran back and forth chasing after cars.
Oh, I've seen that. Like, not that specifically, but, like, when a dog has, like, a habitual route, they run around the whole yard.
Yeah.
It, like,
it just made inroads. She was hysterical. You miss cutting school to play handball? Oh, I miss I love handball. European or Chinese? Are you
talking about actual handball or, like, the big handball?
I'm talking about actual handball. Either European or Chinese.
The tiny one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I played a lot of
or American
handball,
or Chinese. American
like,
or Chinese.
It's like the big one. I don't know what that's called. Wall ball or something. It's like the one with, like, the big bouncy The big
I don't know what the
bouncy
fuck
one.
that's called. I play with the small one. I played
Rather than the
Chinese.
small
I
one,
played
yeah.
Chinese variant of handball. Americans where you don't
Right.
bounce it before it hits the wall. Chinese is where you bounce it before it hits the wall.
But I was like best in my school. Like we played like nonstop. Like I was grinding it.
That doesn't
I had
surprise me
some
in the slightest.
pretty good moves.
That doesn't surprise me in the slightest. I saw you picking up ping pong in like a day.
I mean, I played that when I was a kid, but you definitely saw me get way better at it.
Yeah. Yeah.
You saw me. I remember you saw me return that one shot on Zain like super hard, and you were just like, "What?"
Yeah. My eyes lit up when I got that one shot on Aziz in the tournament.
Yeah, after quarantine is over, I'm for sure getting good at ping pong. Like
I want to get good
feel
at
like
the sport again.
I feel like I have a talent for ping pong, like deep down that I haven't utilized.
Not surprising at all.
I
Just
appreciate
not
that,
surprising.
but to me, it doesn't matter until I've done it. So,
Yeah. I mean, that's a good mentality to have.
like the capability that I can do it, that's what motivates me to want to actually do it.
Are you still bad at Halo? Fuck